We start with our most viewed story on THV11.com. A weather impact alert day has been issued. Meteorologist Nathan Scott joins me to break down the dangerous conditions. Nathan, tell us more.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. We're not talking about storms. We're not talking about rain. We're talking about the danger of wildfires, just because we're seeing conditions develop across the state of Arkansas that have really enhanced the chance of flames getting out of control. Overall, it's a nice day. Temperatures warming up into the mid-70s here in Little Rock. Cold front off to the west, 53 in Fayetteville, 60 in Fort Smith. The clouds are clearing out, so we'll see plenty of sunshine. But here's what I want you to watch. The humidity levels. And when you have the humidity drop below 20%, that's not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. On top of that, we've got those winds whipping in here from the west, southwest, and eventually off to the northwest. Look at the gust currently, 44-mile-per-hour wind gusts here in Little Rock. We're seeing gusts over 50 in northwest Arkansas. So the combination of those whipping winds and also the dry conditions, not a lot of soil moisture, that is the perfect setup for a small flame to get out of control and quickly turn into a raging wildfire. Observed max gust over the past 12 hours since midnight. You see a 51-mile-per-hour wind gust in Fort Smith, 33-mile-per-hour wind gust in Searcy. So we have that red flag warning in effect for pretty much all of the THV 11 viewing area, and that means you should not burn whatsoever. A lot of counties are under a burn ban. It's just not smart in this type of weather. I'll let you know when we'll see some improvement and our next chance of rain coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, we turn now to a video of a fire in Alexander, a testament to how dangerous these conditions are. It took multiple agencies to extinguish the threat. According to Alexander's fire chief, a controlled burn quickly spiraled out of control. That, of course, caused by the dry air. Crews have also gotten a grip on the fire in West Pulaski County. At this hour, our team is reaching out for the latest details. However, at last check, we were told nearly 2,000 acres were burned. As those burn bans remain in effect, fire crews want you to heed caution of this critical message.
When our crews first arrived, I believe it was about 70 acres, and so that's kind of a typical wildfire, no big deal. And then with the low humidity and the high wind, in about an hour or so, it was 300 acres. And then a couple hours after that, it was 700 acres, and it was really just taking off.
No homes or businesses were reported damage. Now, you're encouraged to download the THV 11 app. That way you have direct information at all times regarding the latest conditions. A significant milestone reached today as Arkansas State Police celebrates 90 years of service. The Arkansas General Assembly was signed into law today in 1935. It established the State Police Force. ASP Colonel Mike Hager released a statement saying in part that the agency is thankful for, quote, the support of our community and media partners, end quote. When new at noon, Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin claiming victory in a challenge to a Title IX change made by the Biden administration. Griffin, along with Missouri's Attorney General, challenged the rule that he says gave biological males access to women and girls' locker rooms and bathrooms. A judge ruled in their favor last July. That decision was quickly met with an appeal. This week, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit dismissed it. After the decision, Griffin shared a statement saying, quote, the vast majority of Americans disagree with Biden on this issue. We have a number of new updates regarding the projection of the Little Rock School District. Our team attended the district's State of the District address last night. There, we learned LRSD is no longer under state monitoring. According to the superintendent, graduation rates are up. There's also millions of dollars in funding ready to be used, part of which will fund the implementation of electric school buses. Additionally, the district will launch a new reading program to fuel the literacy rate.
Because we want to reach our one dream goal, the City of Little Rock, in conjunction with the Little Rock School District, is ecstatic to announce the launch of a citywide literacy initiative called Reading in the Rock.
The district is actively looking for new ways to raise money to keep this program up and running. A bill circulating state Congress is reopening the conversation of gender-affirming care. It's the Vulnerable Youth Protection Act. Republican Representative Mary Bentley says it will permit lawsuits against anyone involved in a minor's, quote, social transitioning. That includes procedures such as castration and sterilization. Now, this is incredibly rare in Arkansas. However, the law will also impose penalties of changing names, pronouns, and even hairstyles. And as you can imagine, the bill faces some opposition. Several Democratic and progressive groups met in Little Rock last night, hoping to hear from Arkansas's Republican congressional delegation. Led by former Democratic candidate for governor Chris Jones, the groups invited lawmakers like Tom Cotton, John Bozeman, and French Hill. While they did not show up, a big crowd did, and they shared their frustrations with what's happening in Washington. Russia has failed to agree to a 30-day ceasefire with Ukraine. This after both the U.S. and Russian presidents spoke via phone. Natalie Brand is at the White House with more.
Russian strikes damaged a hospital in Ukraine after the phone call between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We are going back and forth at every level, driving both sides towards a ceasefire and driving both sides towards an end to this war.
The White House says the leaders agreed to a ceasefire covering energy and infrastructure, but Russia has not agreed to a full 30-day ceasefire. The Kremlin also noted a key condition for working toward a resolution should be an end to foreign military aid and intelligence.
We talked about a lot of things, but aid was never discussed.
Experts on the region describe the call as a small step of progress, but say it remains to be seen where negotiations go from here.
What seems clear to me is Putin is at a minimum holding out for more time just to try and take as much territory as possible.
Back in Washington, the administration is facing a series of legal setbacks. On Fox News, President Trump criticized judges who ruled against him.
These are judges that shouldn't be allowed. I think at a certain point you have to start looking at what do you do when you have a rogue judge.
The comments follow a rare rebuke from Chief Justice John Roberts after President Trump called for the impeachment of the judge in the latest case over deportation flights. Roberts said in part, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. How one man is doing exactly that ahead at 12:17.
And for the rest of your Wednesday, all the way through 7 o'clock, we do have that TV11 weather impact alert in effect just because of critical fire conditions. The winds will stay gusty, and with dry ground, dry soil, you have to be extremely careful because we have a raging wildfire that can unfold in a matter of minutes. I'll let you know when the fire danger will be going down coming up.
Also, here's a look at your daily THV 11 Plus lineup. Streaming at 1, an Arkansas mystery of the boys on the tracks. Then at 2:30, there's an episode of Locked On Razorbacks. Getting Real at 3:30, and at 4:30, we have an episode of Mom Squad. Then, of course, THV 11 News at 5. Download on your TV and watch for free.